Hi everyone and welcome to KRYPTALK, that Irish guy that talks about Bitcoin. In this episode, I'm going to show you some simple strategies that you can use to make money with Bitcoin. We're going to take a look at how Bitcoin finally broke out of the $10.5 thousand level and why that's important. We're also going to take a look at the Ledger data breach, what Joe Rogan thinks about Bitcoin, and finally take a look at the price of a pint of Guinness. Let's get started. This is episode number 11 and the title of this episode is How to Make Money with Bitcoin. But before we do that, take a quick look at this. Okay, let's get the basics out of the way. This is the Coinbase chart. These are hourly candles and the Bitcoin price is trading at $11,727. I just think this is probably going to break out while I'm editing the video later on and hopefully surpass $12,000. So we finally broke out of that $10.5 thousand level. But why is the 10.5 level so important? Let's take a quick look at what I said in episode number 10. We haven't hit 10,500 yet. Breaking 10,500, above 10,500, above the $10,500 level. Show that we've held the 10,500 level. It's up to about, just under $10,500. Rejected by the $10,500 level. So we have to do the same thing again with the 10,500 level to signify the start of this bull run. Okay, as I said, this is the hourly chart and Bitcoin is still above the basis of the Bollinger Bands on the hourly and still above the EMA ribbon. Zooming out to the daily chart, we have a similar picture. Here's the daily candle for today, the 1st of August, clearly above the EMA ribbon, and it's like, again, climbing out at the top of the Bollinger Bands there. It's right up towards the top. Same story on the weekly, and again on the monthly. This here is the candle for July, and this is the second highest close in Bitcoin history. So if you look at the top of that, 11,255, the only other monthly close was back in December 2017 when we had the all-time high. So this is very, very significant. Okay, I'm going to use the hourly chart here to make a short-term prediction. So ever since the 27th of July, at this point here, Bitcoin has kind of been on a rally. It went up and then it kind of went into a consolidation pattern, a very, very kind of a small little bullish pennant, like the one we had for about 2 months there for the last 2 months, but this is just kind of a smaller version. And if you watch any of the channels, you'll know that you calculate the target by basically cloning the height of the original flagpole really and attaching to the point of the breakout. So the point of the breakout is here. So that would put the short-term price target for this bullish pennant at 12,800. I mean, it looks like it's breaking out. It looks like it's going to hit 12,000 within the next 24 hours. It could do it in the next 5 minutes. But yeah, 12,000, it's looking good. Another kind of a target, the next target after 12, if it does make 12, then the $14,000 target, I think it's really, really important because that was last year's all-time high. So just a quick look at what I said in episode 9. So you're talking of a target around $14,000, and that could be realistic as well because last June, that was what Bitcoin hit, $14,000. It would make sense to touch that before heading up and hopefully hitting all-time highs. Yeah, so by the looks of things, if you look just above my head there, you see things are looking good. We're on track for $12,000. But it'll probably break out while I'm editing this video. Yeah, so that's it for the charts for today. It's looking good. But what do you think? Do you think Bitcoin is going to reach this 14,000 price target this year? Let me know in the comment section down below. So that brings us to the main focus of this episode, how to make money with Bitcoin. Before we get started, I have to give you 2 pieces of advice. Number 1, this is not financial advice. No investment is without risk, so make sure you do your own research. And number 2, if you are interested in buying Bitcoin, I suggest before you do, go to my channel, subscribe, and watch episodes number 4 and 6. So that's episode 4 and 6. If you're watching a desktop, there should be links appearing there now. So let's get started. Number 1. Get off zero. It's impossible to make money with Bitcoin if you don't actually own any Bitcoin. If you don't know how to buy Bitcoin, watch episode number 3 of this channel. If you're watching on desktop, there should be a link appearing there. If not, just go to the channel page and watch episode number 3. It's a tutorial about how to buy Bitcoin using the Coinbase exchange. Also, in this video, if you go to the description on this particular video, you'll find an affiliate link for Coinbase. If you use that, we'll both get $10 worth of free Bitcoin. Number 2. Dollar cost averaging. Dollar cost averaging is the safest way of buying Bitcoin. You can't erase or completely rule out risk, but you can limit risk. How it works is every week or fortnight or month or whenever you get paid, you invest a small amount. It might only be like $10 or €10 or €20 in Bitcoin, and you regularly buy that amount and it builds up over time. So what this means is you're not buying it on credit and you're not selling your car, your possessions or your house. That's ridiculous. It helps to limit the risk to only what you can afford to lose. So this website here, dcabtc.com or dollar-cost-averaging-bitcoin.com, is a great way of monitoring the progress of your dollar cost averaging. So just have a quick look here. It's kind of like a calculator, dollar cost average calculator. That's essentially what it is. So let's just say you're investing $20 or €20 every 2 weeks, and you're going to do this for a year, and you started 1 year ago. So your total investment would be $540 or €540. You'd now have $604 or euro, and the percentage change you'd be up 12%. Now, I don't know any banks offering that, but if you do know of a bank offering that, please write it down in the comment section. Also, Bitcoin was in a bear market. Essentially, it was in a downtrend there for the last 2.5 years. So that's this last year. That was one of the years when it was in a downtrend, and it looks like the bull run is kicking off now. So it's a good time to start. Number 3. Buy the dips. Now this is easier said than done because it's very, very hard to buy an asset that's decreasing in value. How I do this is I have a certain amount of money set aside and I label this the dip fund. So when Bitcoin crashes or decreases or dumps or decreases in value over a short amount of time, I use this money, this dip fund, to buy that Bitcoin at a lower price. Think of it like a Bitcoin fire sale. Of course, this only works if the Bitcoin price actually recovers and increases in value. It could go to zero. I don't think it will. Not financial advice, but that's how I do it. And number 4, earn passive interest on your Bitcoin. So this is www.blockfi.com. There's an affiliate link in the description for this video. All you do is set up an account with them, go through the KYC process, and then you deposit Bitcoin and it earns interest at a rate of 6% per annum. And number 5, sit back and hodl. Bitcoin is a deflationary asset. Its price tends to increase over time. So if you don't want to trade or put it on something like BlockFi and earn interest, you just want to do the safest thing and hodl and hold on to it for the long term, get it off the exchanges and get it onto a Ledger Nano S or another cold storage wallet. There is an affiliate link in the description. Check it out. Now, if you're watching this video and you're thinking it's too late for you to buy Bitcoin, just take a look at what Bitcoin has done over the last few months. Back in March, at its lowest point, it was trading at $3,800. Today, at its highest point, it was trading at $11,700. So the days of Bitcoin making millionaires out of people, yeah, they're probably gone. But there are still potentially massive price gains to be made. And that's because Bitcoin is a deflationary asset. It tends to increase over time. Its purchasing power tends to increase, whereas fiat currencies like the euro, the dollar, the pound, their purchasing power tends to decrease over time. Now, a good way of looking at this is by looking at the price of a pint of Guinness and how that has changed over time. Now, I could do this with anything. I could do this with you could take out something like a pint of milk or a kilo of sugar. I'm just using Guinness because I like it and I'm Irish. So first of all these prices have been converted to euro and they're based on the average wage at the time. And it's also based on the average price of a pint of Guinness at that time in Ireland. So in 1969, a pint of the black stuff would cost you 20 cents. 10 years later in 1979, 70 cents. In 89, €1.87. In 1999, €2.74. In 2009, €4.01. Now, I don't have the exact average price of a pint of Guinness for Ireland today, but I'm guessing it's somewhere around the $5.50 mark. So it's the exact same product, the exact same volume, but the price that you're paying for it is increasing over time because the currency that you are using is inflationary and the purchasing power decreases over time. Okay, we're going to finish up this episode by taking a quick look at the Bitcoin related news for this week. Okay, the first article is by the Daily HODL and the headline reads, Joe Rogan says Bitcoin is transformational, tells audience of 200 million to get on board. Prominent podcaster Joe Rogan is urging his audience of 200 million to buy Bitcoin and start stacking sats. So this happens in episode 1515 of the Joe Rogan Experience. You can just go onto YouTube and watch this and see what he said. So what he said, with the Cash App, you can automatically purchase Bitcoin daily, weekly, or even bi-weekly. This is known in the industry as stacking sats. Sats is short for Satoshi, the legendary person who created Bitcoin. So each Bitcoin can be broke up into Satoshis, like a dollar can be broke up into cent and so on. What he said, this is the most important part here. He says Bitcoin What it is for sure is a transformational digital currency that acts as a decentralized peer-to-peer payment network powered by its users with no central authority. I love it. I wish it was the way we exchange currency, and maybe it will be in the future, so get on board. So he just kind of advertised Bitcoin to 200 million people. The second article for today is by Cointelegraph, and the headline reads, Data breach at crypto wallet firm Ledger exposes users' personal info. Major cryptocurrency hardware wallet provider Ledger has alerted customers to a data breach it faced in June and July. According to Ledger, this compromised the email addresses of almost 1 million people. The firm added that for a subset of 9,500 customers, details such as first and last name, postal address, and phone number were also exposed. So a lot of private information there. So this is embarrassing for Ledger. This is a statement that Ledger released in a blog post and in emails. I used the Ledger, so I saw the blog and I got the email. Your payment information and crypto funds are safe. Regarding e-commerce data, no payment information, no credentials, passwords were concerned by this data breach. It solely affected our customers' contact details. Now, I'm going to continue to use the Ledger Nano S, and I'm going to continue to recommend it, and I'll tell you why. At the end of the day, I bought the device so that the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency I buy can be stored securely, and they are, and the passwords haven't been affected, any payment details, so I'm comfortable enough with that. Now, I'm not comfortable with the fact that somewhere out there, some hacker could have my first and last name, postal address, phone number, and those kind of private details. And I would urge everyone just to be very, very vigilant concerning phishing emails and protecting your ledger and your 24-word recovery phrase and your password, because once you have that, no one can get your Bitcoin or your cryptocurrencies. But yeah, it's a bit embarrassing for Ledger. And the final article for today is also by Cointelegraph, and it's very, very bullish because it's been a very, very bullish week and even month in fairness. So Bitcoin now perfectly on track to $100,000, says stock to flow creator. So Plan B, the well-known creator of contested stock to flow model, believes Bitcoin is now well on track to reach 100,000 as the price has risen to yearly highs. Also, Kelvin Ko, the co-founder of Asia-based venture capital firm Spartan Group, said if Bitcoin breaks the resistance of 11.4K, which it has, we are going above 12K in no time. Looking at the price here, it's $11,732, and will take the wind out of alts again short term. So basically the alts, people will start to take money out of the altcoins, put it into Bitcoin, and Bitcoin will pump, and the alts will kind of probably just dump or stay kind of moving sideways. Okay, everyone, that's the end of this episode. So if you like Guinness or this episode, please be sure to like and subscribe. And as usual, Shlancha. Bye, 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 bye. Thanks very much for watching this episode. If you want to subscribe to this channel, just click on the link right above me now. If you want to follow me on Twitter, that's my handle right there.